Welcome back to another episode for all these game changers, people that are up to things or people that are looking to get up to things, making some major changes in your life. Hell, you could even be up to making some small changes. I don't care, but welcome to the channel. This is the Maturity Project. I'm your host, Chad Everett Broshears. It's a channel that is dedicated to helping give different insights so that you can start getting out of the stickiness of life and also realize that you have some areas that you are responsible for growing and developing. If you neglect them, you run into the same pitfalls all the other people do too. So here we are, 8 different areas of maturity. Today's conversation is the lone wolf. So how do you bring the lone wolf back? Well, first off, what the hell is a lone wolf, right? Like, we have this, and there's plenty of people that do motivation videos. There are people that do all kinds of things to get people all fired up, for the lone wolf. And, you got this, you got it alone, whatever. Well, here's an interesting fact about wolves. They do a hell of a lot better when they're together in a pack. They're communal creatures. They work incredibly well together that way. So, what makes us turn into a lone wolf, right? Well, first off, if you have people that you've been dependent on, what it is a series of hurt. It's a series of upsets. It's a series of disconnects throughout life that gives somebody the justification to just go on alone, right? And it makes sense. I mean, I'm not downing these people. I've been a lone wolf the majority of my life because I've always thought differently. I've always been kind of like an outsider. In the hierarchical structures, when you deal with like alpha, beta, and those kinds of people, I fall under the Sigma category because my particular personality type really doesn't want to tinker too much in other people's lives. We're just up to what we're up to in life, and we do what we do, and we typically don't look for the limelight. We're not trying for that. I had to get over that for this particular video series and doing my YouTube channels, but it's because of I just have my strengths and I have my weaknesses, and it's along the way there's been a lot of pain, a lot of challenges, a lot of suffering, if you will, but not having the tools to help me truly navigate it in such a mature way that I did not close off to others. So I already have set off with the personality values that prefer to, kind of go at it alone. I'd like to tell people that I am a professional extrovert, but a personal introvert. In my jobs, in my company, I'm very outgoing, and, there's no fear of connection, things like that in the professional lens. But in the personal side, it just seemed like I'd always had to do so much just to recover from all of the extra energy I was putting out on the professional side. So it made me more withdrawn, I guess, or the lone wolf area, right? It's just I got to recharge, I got to recoup. There's been challenges throughout the process that made me default thinking that doing this thing alone called life, right, or doing parts of it, is disconnects in communication. I've been in conversations where I'm very clearly speaking English and choosing my words very wisely and very precisely, and still have the other person completely missing what I'm talking about. The reality is they were just so far in their head. Of course they're going to miss what you're saying because that's all they can hear is through the lens of what they have to say. It's things like that has happened that pushed me back a bit, going, okay, well, this person really doesn't get me or doesn't get the subject or something, right? And then it's the subconscious mind wants to move away from it. It's better off just, man, you got your thing, I got mine, let's go that direction. Now, again, we all, no matter how much we're sitting here telling ourselves we're so sophisticated, we're so developed, we're so civilized, we're so educated, we're so all of these things. But when you look at the way that human beings interact inside of our society, like within the United States and other cultures that observe the same things, is that we're all feral, feral being raised in the wild, right? We're raised in the wild of areas that we have not opened ourselves up to other people. And you didn't do it for reasons. You either didn't know you could open up to those people for whatever thing, or you've been hurt or burnt in the past and you don't want to go back because you understand what the sensations of pain is, especially if that pain seems like it's so great that it's more like a punishment, because you opened up yourself and it's like, yeah, I knew better. And you kind of like have your inner voice chastising you and punishing you. Whatever it is, you just have reasons to retract from people. And that gives you that closer to that lone wolf status. Well, here's things that come along with that, right? Like, it's not, again, whoever's in that place, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it is limited, because a pack will always be greater and more capable than a lone wolf or any one individual ever. So when you're dealing with pack creatures, and we are pack creatures, we are communal, pack related. We do well with groups and social settings and things like that. Even if you are an introvert, you still do well with connecting with other people, and we still have a hierarchy to function inside of that we feel, genetically predisposed to actually working with. So there's no knock on anything here. This is just, let's just understand where we're at and then create whatever the hell it is you want to create from there. Because your potential becomes unlimited when you start aligning with people that have similar views, especially if you all have the same goal. Don't have to have the same views, but the same goal. You don't want to, carbon copy of yourself sitting around, because then you're just encouraging yourself to do stuff, but you really have no unique viewpoints or ideas. You're just stuck to your own. But when you have somebody else contributing, then you have a new perspective that can be brought to the table. And arguments are not bad. Fighting is not bad. Physically fighting, not a big fan of it. But then again, if you're into martial arts or you need to defend yourself from somebody else, it all makes sense, right? But we just have all this crazy ass programming that has value, but where it's supposed to be versus an all-encompassing statement, which is like, you should never have violence. I'm going to tell you right now, there's definitely plenty of times in my life where violence was warranted. I'm not a big advocate for it. I think you should exhaust every single aspect up till the point of that needing to happen. But sometimes you can't rationalize with. And what one person perceives as violence is not necessarily truly violence. It could also be the restraint of another from hurting other people, but it looks like from the outside violence. So we're fucking silly creatures is what we are. We come up with all kinds of meaning to things that we don't have meaning for yet. And that also goes to tell you how incredibly powerful the untrained mind is, because you make meaning to everything. It's just a matter of what does it really associate itself with, and how important is it that it has some sort of meaning. That stuff all collects, by the way. It collects on you like dust. It's just, or like static, until it pops. And then whenever it pops, it's like, I don't know why I'm so upset, but I'm upset. It's because you've been collecting all of these things along the way, negative, positive, and everything, but it's not assigned in such a way that it's structured to make your life, it's supporting you in your growth. It's just collecting on you, and it's like, God damn. That's a good way of putting it, though. It collects on you like static until it builds up great enough to actually give a discharge. Then it pops, right? Then you got some sort of, stunning moment where you're like, oh shit. But you may be caught up in that moment of oh shit, and you're like, this is awesome. I finally feel empowered, or whatever it is. That's the status that comes out of, opening up that valve of repression. So, lone wolves, they're out there. They're all over the damn place. I've been one myself. This channel is also an opportunity to exit the lone wolf mentality. I'm not trying to be a sage. I'm not trying to be a guru. I'm not trying to do anything other than provide insights that help you grow, because I am out for a community that is up to something. A community that sees that the narcissistic behaviors that we have fallen victim to in our society is something that we do not need to have take us. That you can stand in the distance, you can stand in the way of the low-hanging fruit of destruction that we have been, consuming so regularly. Narcissistic behaviors that have been, impressed upon our society and rewarded. And the destruction that's coming from all of that shit. we can do better. And that's the community that I'm creating with this. I have to help those people that are involved, that are part of this, that are wanting to develop themselves past the frustrations that life has given them up until that point. The times that they've told themselves, I'm unable to overcome this, so therefore it means that I'm not good at it, or I won't ever be good at this and I need to abandon it. The people that are saying, I can't do a relationship, it's just horrible, and I always get burnt. The people that say that I can't get a promotion at work, they always pick somebody else over me, they don't like me, they whatever your usual excuse is. The person that says, you know what, I am so tired of being fucking broke all the time, and I don't know why. No matter what, I always seem to end back at this place where I'm broke. The person that says that, all people want me for is sex, or that they can't seem to find any meaningful relationships outside of what I mentioned earlier, but this being associated with sex and sexuality. The people that are like, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, and it scares me that I'm going to live and die and not have a point about this whole thing. I'm talking to those people. Those are the ones that are entering into the community that is actually out to make a big change for themselves. That's the Maturity Project. That's 8 areas of maturity, by the way. The people that are willing to face their emotions and say, you know what, developing your emotions is like riding a bicycle. It only really works whenever the emotion is excited. But you got to know what the fuck is going on. Otherwise, you get stuck in the emotion and you're just there. And then you're a victim of the situation versus the creator of the situation. And that doesn't sound great. And it sounds harsh to some people to realize that they've created the majority of the hardships in their own life. But you were raised feral. You were brought up with the 8 different areas of maturity in a way that you didn't know how you could use the experience to develop and grow you. You found reasons to avoid that thing and then punish others for getting near it. Whatever that was that you told yourself at a younger stage of your life, that doesn't work for me, or I get hurt when this happens, or I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed. All of the negative stuff that we typically collect on us, which is part of that static build that we put on us, all of that shit comes up and says, I'm no good at this, I don't want to do it, and none of it, right? Because you don't know the potential in the lesson. You don't even realize that what's happening to you is a lesson. That is an opportunity for growth. So you deny it because you don't know better. You will find that with this channel, that we will find how to grow no matter what the situation is that's in front of us. No. And I don't care what it is. Put some in the comment section. It's going to be the thing you think can't be grown from, or what is the worst thing and it can't have growth. I don't give a shit. Put it in there. I'll interact with you. I'll play the game. Why not? What else are we going to do? I've got the day in front of me. I've spent a good deal of time today in the gym. Got a good workout in. Because I'm dedicated to my physical maturity. I'm dedicated to my body in a way that I want it to persevere, and I want the benefits that come with looking athletic and being functional. I want all of those things, so I'm dedicated to doing it. Now, I'm not shaming anybody or making them wrong. If you want that, let's create it. Whatever the thing is that's your challenge you've dealt with in life that made you want to retract and become a little bit more of a lone wolf, put it in the comment section. Put it in there. Say, this is it, Chad. This is what I've been stuck on. I don't know what to do with this. I don't even think it's possible to develop or grow out of this, because this is a channel for opportunity and for possibility. Now, as I've been telling people, look, when I say I love you, it's by the definition of acceptance. The definition of love for me is acceptance. And the more I love you, the more I accept you for who you are and who you're not. And I'm going to tell you right now, I love you. I love you for who you are and who you're not, to the degree that I know you. And if I don't know you, probably want to comment in the comment section. But I'm telling you now, I love you. I believe in you. You can do anything. And what you've gone through is opportunity. And it is a fantastic opportunity. But you have to learn how to accept it. And you have to be able to see it. Because if you avoid it, you don't grow in avoidance. The only thing you grow in is learning how to avoid a little better. Possibly punish people for making you actually look at something that you've had to avoid. That's a skill set that you could also come up with. And you get shame attached to it. You get all the stuff that's just associated with wanting to avoid things. So the lone wolf has gone through so much. that it makes them believe that the only way to get things done is to do it by yourself. No one else has got the same intentions, no one else has the same desires, and people are just going to screw you over anyway. And why the hell should I bother? That's what the lone wolf's ultimate conclusion turns into, why they're going to do this stuff on their own. So whatever version or variation of that statement, but ultimately it still comes down to the same thing. Nobody else is trustworthy. I can't do this with other people. I don't want them to screw me over. I don't want them to get excited, get involved in this, and then deplete me of my energy when they back out. That happens too. We get people real fired up about what we want to do, and then they get deflated or they hijack it. Something along the way changes what you're working on and what you energize them with. And it could be they stay energized until they're not, but now you become accustomed to their energy, their effort, their motivation, everything that they brought into it. You've got some sort of, you've got something that is static clung to you. About them backing away, now you're like, hey, I'm not as excited about this anymore. Well, I will tell you, my purpose is to make a difference on humanity. Therefore, a difference on the world, by helping us all mature to the point that we can stop all of this nonsense bullshit that we've been doing. This division that we let our politicians put us into. We let our mainstream media teach us that we're supposed to be divided because we have these characteristics and values that aren't aligned with other people. And if you have a specific viewpoint, you're bad, you're wrong, whatever. I want a very diverse landscape when it comes to thinking, when it comes to skill sets, when it comes to the abilities to accomplish things, when it comes to motivation. I want the whole fucking thing. I want it all. But I don't want it placed there by the way that we've been taught. Because the way we've been taught is to put us into different groups and not like each other. For whatever reasons they tell us not to like each other. You can get past that by maturing. That's why the old wise man laughs when the young person makes the mistake. But they know that if they keep making the mistake, the reason why they laugh is because they know the lesson is just around the corner. That's why they're laughing. It's not a malicious, evil laugh. It's a caring and loving laugh. And the realization with a warm smile that you're about to grow. That's the world that I'm wanting to create, is where we have more and more of those people, but also the ones that can help guide us. Bring that wisdom to life. Wisdom comes through maturity. You develop yourself. Some develop faster than others. It's all about what is sticky and holding you back. So the lone wolf will choose to go on their own, but they will lose significantly in the long run. Because their true potential will not be realized. You're not going to do it alone. You're not going to do it. Your true potential will not be found in isolation. It will not be found by yourself. Now, if you keep finding yourself in situations where it just seems the other people are hurting you in the process of your goals, they keep distracting you or whatever, you don't have to tell everybody every little detail. But it is best to communicate in such a powerful way that there's no question what you're up to, and the reality that you have been involved in such a way, and I put weight on you to do something with this, with me, and because you weren't able to facilitate what my expectations were that I never clearly communicated with you, or got your real communicated and determined commitment, then it's my fault why we didn't make progress. And if you cannot commit to that, that's perfectly fine. Because I don't want to put that weight on you again if it's not a burden you're willing to bear. And do not bear it because you like me. Bear it because you want to see the same outcome. Like that will change your life. I was just thinking earlier, because again, like the lone wolf conversations, right, and all that stuff. I was taking a shower, not to give a visual or anything, but it'll work out. Anyway, so as I'm taking a shower, I start the shower and immediately get under the water every single time. I started doing this several months ago, still every time. I do not wait for the shower to warm up. I get my shower takes 30 seconds to hit till the water starts warming up. I've got 30 seconds of shock to my system going, yep, it's time, baby, wake up. The reason why you haven't made the progress in your life is you keep looking for what's comfortable. You keep looking for that comfortable thing. That's why you've not made the progress that you've been wanting to make in life. If you want that progress, start getting uncomfortable. And I'm like sitting there thinking to myself when I first started this, I am comfortable being uncomfortable. And I need to up that ante. I got to get more uncomfortable. I've got to keep making progress. But I didn't realize the other places that I was finding comfort, that was my comfortable retreat. Because there's 8 different areas that you actually need to be uncomfortable in. And I'm sitting there going, well, and intellectually, I'm uncomfortable. So I'm learning, constantly learning. I'm uncomfortable, keep learning. I'm uncomfortable, keep learning. And I'm like, okay, qualifying that actually is a pretty good spot. I feel pretty good about it. I'm constantly learning. Then I'm like, okay, with the body, go into the gym, push yourself past your limits, keep going. Go for PRs, go for performance, whatever that I want to be able to use to show me that I'm getting better at exercise, not just aesthetically looking good. I want to be able to really get through this and be able to be that much more functional. Okay, got that. That's a regular work for me. All right, I want to address my emotions. I've got all this stuff going on with what's going on in my life. I'm comfortable there because I'm uncomfortable. Again, I'm uncomfortable first, and I'm good about that. But then there comes this spot, man, where like taking that cold shower. It's only 30 seconds. I'm not saying take 10-minute long cold shower or an ice plunge. I'm not there yet, but still, I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm like, this actually opened my eyes to something. 30 seconds of that cold water opened my eyes to something. Like, here's something stupid and simple, and it seems so minuscule, but this is how you do anything, is how you do everything, by the way. I have had my house since 2017. I have a pool. I have been in it more this year in the last several months than I have ever been in that pool. Because I used to go into the pool and I'm like, oh God, this is cold, no matter what time of year it was. Oh, this is cold. And I tiptoe in and, whatever. And I'm like, oh God, oh, this sucks, and just like got this like weird, like it was painful because it was uncomfortable, but it really wasn't painful. It's just weird because I felt that it was painful in the sense of being so uncomfortable that it was cold that I just lost my desire to even get in the pool. Well, now that I've been doing the cold showers, and again, 30 seconds, I'm not like bragging like I'm doing a long, long cold shower, but it opened the doorway for a lot. And it's that simple. 30 seconds of a cold shower. Boom. Got something. I got something big out of it. So now it takes no time at all. If I want to get in the shower, I'm in, baby. If I want to get in the pool, I'm in, baby. Same thing. Immediately right in. No hesitation, no slowing down, whatever. And I know it sounds silly, and there's plenty of people that don't have that challenge, and they've always been that way. Great. Good for you. You're like this in other parts of your life. Same thing. The lone wolf gets the conclusion that they don't want to do it with others. Now, if you want to bring them in, as I mentioned earlier about communication, that is one of the best ways to bring a lone wolf in. Because once they realize their pack, the ones that they keep around them, when they realize that those people are up to something as well, the world starts turning. Because resources become more available of all types. You create, dynamic thinking groups, power groups or masterminds. You create so much in that space because you have other people that are up to something. And if you take this route to bring the lone wolf into the pack and create the pack, imagine having that many developed wolves together in one pack. It's the ability to truly go after life becomes so much more capable. So you'll see so much more progress. So to get that lone wolf out, this is how you do it. How you pack that animal. This is how you do it. Give a common reason to want to be a part of it together. That will change your life. So with that being said, that's it for today's video. So all you lone wolves out there, you have a pack, you just got to find it. So if you want to join mine, by all means, comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share this video with the people in your life you want to start a meaningful conversation with, and do something with it. If all of this stuff is just stuff you're putting in your head, you're really likely not to do anything with it for a long time. And by the time you actually do get to do something with it, you probably forgot some pretty important details. You got to get in action. action will create all sorts of opportunity and freedom. So, all right, that's it for today. I'm your host, Chad Everett Broshears. This is the Maturity Project. Remember, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. A lot of people are out there with the best intentions in the world, and they're just creating chaos. Some people just want to be loved, and all they do is keep creating chaos, because that's all they got. So, all right, till next time, let's get to it. All right, let's get up to something. Let's get up to it together. See ya.